Welcome to this week's Achievement Assembly. The theme this week is mapping and geography, and we'll be hearing from children in reception, Year 2 and Year 4. Year 6 will also be sharing with us some work all about the life of Moses. This week in reception, the children have been focusing on the gingerbread man and have explored the story in lots of different ways. One of the tasks was to create a map for the gingerbread man to use to help him find his way to the river. Here you can see some of the fantastic maps the children created. We've got Ashwin's map, one from Evan, Oliver's map, Jacob's map, Mia, Finn and James have also completed wonderful maps. We want to celebrate Philippa now in Class 1 for her amazing and enormous map. She was so inspired by this activity and spent the entire day creating her map and drawing all the animals. Philippa also wrote to the gingerbread man to tell him how to use it to get safely back to Gingerbread Town. Well done, Philippa. Now, we also want to celebrate Max in Class 2 for his life-size interactive map. Max wanted the gingerbread man to run through his map and avoid different characters. Max had a dog, a cat, a cockerel, a horse, a cow, a pig, a boy, and a shark in his story. The gingerbread man had to run through bushes, a tunnel, and over a bridge. We think this is such a creative and exciting approach to the task, and is just one of many examples of Max's brilliant home learning that is sent each week. Well done, Max. And next we move on to Year 2, and Mrs. Brown is going to tell us about some more fantastic geography work.
In Year 2, we are especially proud of Hector. Hector's really enjoyed geography this term. He's got a huge interest in the world around him. This was first evident when Hector made a fantastic video describing the weather forecast in different parts of Australia. He used geographical language to help us understand which part of Australia was experiencing which type of weather, and he also used good vocabulary to explain the weather to his audience. But what really impressed us about Hector is how him and his family, particularly his sister Eliza, decided to go the extra mile and do something to help the environment and the world that they live in. They wanted to improve their local area, and so over this half term they inspired groups of families who live near them to go out and to collect bags and bags of litter. Not only did they do this themselves and encourage others to do so, but they organised a daily newsletter updating families so that they knew what was going on, how many bags had been collected, who was in the lead, and they turned it into a competition with prizes at the end when they found out who had collected the most bags of litter. We are very proud of them for wanting to improve their local area and instead of just thinking about it, actually going out there and doing it. So well done for your commitment to the environment, Eliza, Hector, and all of the families that you inspired that came to help you. Some pictures are here to show you what they did.
Here they are, all wrapped up, wearing gloves, not afraid of the cold and the mud, getting out there and helping in the local community. 3 days, 6 families, and an incredible 31 bags. It was Peter in Year 3 who won the prize for collecting the most bags of rubbish. Well done, everyone.
Today we are celebrating George's amazing home learning in geography. In Year 4, we have been learning about rivers. George has been really enthusiastic during our rivers topic, as you will see in his experiments, investigations and written work. He has made excellent links to our science topic, the water cycle, too. After exploring the water cycle and rivers around the world, George used Digimaps to explore his local area. He walked along the River Trim by his house and then found it on Digimaps and measured its distance. He found his house and mapped his route to school and also measured this distance. George is very good at using Digimaps. During this experiment, George recreated a river using stones, soil, sand and water. Here, he has explained his process and observations using excellent geographical language, explaining how it replicates a real river. He says, "When I had made my homemade river, I gave it a good shake. Shaking it was like the river flowing. I could see the small pebbles I had added bouncing along against the side of the bottle like saltation on my river diagram I looked at the other week. The smaller bits of soil floating were like suspension of tiny bits of materials floating along in a real river. When I stood the bottle upright, it took a few minutes for it all to settle. The bits left on the side at the top of the bottle were deposited by the moving water, and as it left that part of the bottle, the little bits of soil and sand got left behind. The pebbles sank to the bottom of the bottle because they were the heaviest, and on top of that, sand, and then on top of that was the soil. There were still a few bits of soil floating on top of the water. Well done for all of your exploring and discovering in geography, George. We are very proud of your home learning achievements." In Year 4, we are also celebrating Greg's geography work. Greg has explored the features of a river in great depth, and you can see how much knowledge he has acquired through his scientific diagrams and written explanations. He finds the Mississippi River the most impressive because it has a 24-mile-long bridge across it, so it must be really wide. Greg also enjoyed using Digimaps to explore erosion, one of our geography focuses. First, Greg completed the assigned task of drawing the high sea line, one line for the 1890s, one line for the 1950s, and one line for now. He then chose to repeat this task for Tarmouth and Lyme Regis. His results were quite surprising, and he dived deeper in his learning by asking himself why he was seeing these results. He said, "I did a map of Charmouth, and surprisingly, 1950 is further back than now. This might be from man-made sea defences. I went there last year, and they have built a walkway along some of it to protect the cliff." This is a really good example of Greg's deep thinking, his curiosity, and how he makes links to his own experiences. Well done, Greg. You are so insightful, and everyone benefits from your curious questions and fascinating facts.
In RE, Year 6 have been thinking about the question, how can following God bring freedom and justice? To answer this question, they have been learning about the life of a man called Moses. Year 6 had to retell the story of Moses by creating their very own map of events. They used words and illustrations to tell the story of Moses' life. This week, we are celebrating Oscar in Class 13 for his brilliant map of events. I really like how Oscar has included headings for each event, and I also really like how he has retold Moses' life using both writing and colourful, carefully drawn illustrations. Oscar clearly spent time creating his map. His presentation is beautiful, and he has created a map that he can be proud of. I am also proud to be celebrating Toby in Class 14 for his wonderful story map. Toby clearly thought carefully about how he could retell each big event, and he has retold each event very clearly. I really like how his illustrations complement his retelling of each event in Moses' life. A big well done to both Oscar and Toby for their brilliant work in RE.
And thank you to everyone for sharing their wonderful work with us this week. Many congratulations to everybody. And finally today I want to tell you about 2 exciting local projects happening in our neighbourhood. Near our school, on the old site of the former elderly people's home on Bishopthorpe Road, Bristol City Council are planning on building 29 new houses and a community centre. This is a special place for people from the local neighbourhood to gather for social occasions and take part in activities. Now they're interested in finding out what sort of activities you would like to happen there.
Hi, I'm Harvey and I'm the Research Officer at Manor Farm Community Hub. The Hub is currently applying to run the new community centre that's being built on Bishopthorpe Road in the area. And we want this centre to be a place where events can be organised, activities and clubs can be held, but also a place where young people can hang out with their friends and enjoy themselves. And this is really important because we need more of these places. We've been losing places like these in the area, and we don't want less of them, we want more of them. We want this community centre to be run the best it can for people your age. And we also want to hear about what you think about your area generally and how you think it could be improved. So we've got this survey, and it'd be great if you could fill it out. You just write as much or as little as you like, and then once we have all your submissions, all your answers, we'll be able to bring this together and we'll be able to create a plan for our community centre that works best for younger people like yourselves. Thank you very much.